my Jeep Gladiator and good morning, everybody. How are you today? It is freezing here. Well, not literally, not just yet, but it is cold. And I got to tell you, this cold weather combined with the Jeep Gladiator has made me a wimp. Now, what am I talking about? Well, first of all, let me tell you where I am. I'm in extreme South Texas in what's called the Rio Grande Valley. Almost as far south as you can go in Texas before being in Mexico. That's how far south I am. And typically it's like, I don't know, subtropical here. I mean, it's usually pretty darn warm most of the time. In the summer, it gets up to the highest it's been since I've been here, which is, this is my third year already. It's about 105, 106 degrees, something like that, and very humid. It's humid here most all of the time. And typically in the summer, if you go below 90, 95, it's unusual, right? Winters are very, very mild. Typically, in my 3 years, this is my third winter, I guess, of experience. Right now, it is 38 degrees and really very windy here. Tonight, it's supposed to be in the 20s, so we have, I don't know, some kind of winter weather warning, all this crazy stuff. You know, I came from Columbus, Ohio, right? And in Ohio, we had winters. I wouldn't say they were like a Chicago winter or a Michigan winter or anything, but we still had winters. It got cold. We had sub-zero temperatures occasionally, and definitely sub-zero wind chills. Snow, sleet, freezing rain. We had everything there, right? So here, and I don't know if you guys saw the story, a few days ago, there was some winter weather around Fort Worth, I guess, Texas. And there was a massive pileup on the freeway. Injuries, deaths, all kinds of terrible stuff. But it's because we're not used to it here, right? We don't get that kind of weather. And I know it's funny. You know, my wife is Canadian, of course. So, you know, everybody thinks that Canada's so cold and stuff. And it is. So she makes fun of me and how I react here and stuff. As she's sitting there in her 10 layers and robe and all warm. About how cold it is for me. I'm now sitting here, I'm in 4 layers right now, right? I have a t-shirt, a shirt, a light coat, and a winter leather jacket, right? And the winter leather jacket is really to cut the wind. It's nothing like a leather coat and wind. You just don't even feel that. So, but I want to be warm. So why do I say that the Jeep Gladiator and these cold temperatures have made me a wimp? Well, I used to go out in this stuff, you know, before we moved here from Columbus, I had a long driveway, right? And I had I guess I used, it was a Gator. If you're not familiar with a Gator, that's like an ATV kind of thing, right? Like a big go-kart. I used that along with a plow on the front of it to plow my driveway in the snow, right? So the way it would work is we'd get the snow, and then right after it's over, I'd go out and get the driveway cleared because I had to go to work the next morning if it was typically, and it was, on a weekday. So I'd be out there right after. Windy, it's the end of the, and it's a drag. But I would do it. I'd go out there. I had some coveralls and long johns and, you know, all that kind of stuff on. Boots, gloves, a hat over my face, a scarf. I mean, the whole 10 yards, man. Or is it 9 yards? I don't know. It's a lot of yards. But I had all kinds of stuff on, and I didn't mind it that much. And I guess, you know, my wife would argue that, well, you were dressed properly. You're not dressing properly now. So when you go out into this weather, change the way you feel the weather, the temperature, right? I mean, in Ohio, there was a transition between when it got cold outside and the summer, of course, but it was a gradual transition, right? I mean, it started to get cooler, temperatures would start to drop, and you had time to acclimate to it. Well, it's not that way here, you know? It's like it's 80 degrees, and then all of a sudden, it's 30. I mean, it's a 50-some degree drop, right? So it just hits you a lot harder, and I tell you, it's like bone chilling, man. And I know it's laughable, right? I know there's folks out there, you know, my daughter's in Colorado. I think the high today is 0 When I checked it last, it was -6. Low tonight, -13, I think. Now that's cold. I know there are areas that get much colder, right? So you folks are listening to me complain about my 37 degrees now. We lost a degree. And thinking, what the heck's this guy talking about? I'm sitting here in, that was loud. I'm sitting here in minus whatever, sub-zero temperatures. And this guy's complaining about 37. I'd be in shorts and a t-shirt in 37. I'm sure I'm going to get comments like that. People are going to tell me how warm and pleasant it is. It's not, I'm telling you. It's frickin' cold. Now, I go out to get in my Gladiator. I left it outside last night because we were going to get some rain. So I keep testing the top to see if I get any leaks, which, by the way, I didn't. But I left it out there and it got cold. So today, I wanted to take the Jeep. I wanted to check it, and I just wanted to drive it, right? So I go out to get in it, and the first thing I notice about the Gladiator, and it's a little different for mine because I have the soft top, but with the hard top, like what's in the back, the cold air just radiates down off of that, right? Because I don't have the carpet like I do up here in the back. You can just feel it coming through. And that's one thing that, you know, if you're sensitive to the cold, which apparently I now am, you need to be aware of. If you're going to have a hard top, you're going to feel kind of a draft at your head. Again, fortunately for me, I have this cloth top and it doesn't do that. Now, maybe if it was covered in snow or ice or something that was keeping it, you know, chilled all the way through, yeah, maybe it would be a little worse. I don't know. But one reason to have the soft top, I guess, is you just don't feel that cold air like you do. I can just put my hand back there and feel it radiating down. And I've had a hardtop Jeep before, so I know what that feels like. Matter of fact, I even had a truck. I can't remember. I think it was years ago. But I had a mid-sized truck, and it didn't have a headliner. It actually was just the metal, and that's the one thing that I still can remember all these years later, is the feeling of that cold air radiating down from that metal roof. I did notice too in the summer when we took this Jeep on a trip, I could feel the heat radiating down from the soft top because of course it's black, and in bright sunshine it's just going to absorb all that heat. And if you put your hand up there, you can feel it. I never felt it so much on my head because there is a pretty good distance. I mean, I'm talking about yay far between my head and the headliner up there, which is good because I think if I was a little closer, yeah, I would feel some of that cold air even with the soft top. I don't know, maybe it's just perception, but for some reason it felt colder to me getting in the Gladiator. Not really that it because it sat outside or anything, but just the feeling you get from the interior and everything. It just felt colder to me than it does when I've gotten in, or did rather, when I've gotten into other vehicles. For instance, the Toyota Tacoma. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know if you've noticed this. I'd be curious to know. Have you found that Jeeps in general, just because of, you know, the way they are a little bit colder in the winter, maybe a little bit hotter in the summer? I'd be curious to know. Real quick, if you're interested, I have 2 other channels. The first is Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma. And the second is Rob Motive Civic, all about my adventures with the Honda Civic Sport and the Honda Civic Type R. Check them out, have a look. If you like them, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay warm out there. Bye.